Too late for regret. In the bustling city of Jos, where traditional and modernity clashes, lived a man named David Jones. David was a successful businessman, respected by his peers and admired by his family. However, beneath his composed exterior, he harbored a secret discontent. He had married Victoria, a kind and gentle woman, not out of love but due to relentless pressure from his family. His parents believed that Victoria, with her grace and impeccable background, was the perfect match for him. Victoria entered the marriage with hope and an open heart. Though she hardly knew David, she was determined to make their life together beautiful. She put her dreams on hold, dedicated herself to understanding him, and slowly she grew to love him deeply. She admired his intelligence and respected his ambitions, but her feelings were met with indifference. David remained distant, his mind always elsewhere, caught between the life he had and the life he wanted. Years passed and Victoria's effort to bridge the emotional gap between them seemed futile. David's coldness and frustrations were evident in their daily interactions. He snapped at her over trivial matters and avoided spending time with her. Victoria's heart broke a little more each day as she faced the reality that her love was unrequited. Victoria's friends and family noticed her unhappiness. They urged her to talk to David, to make him see how much he was hurting her. But every time she tried, David dismissed her concerns, claiming he was too busy or too tired. His work became his escape, leaving Victoria alone in their large empty house, consumed by loneliness. The turning point came one evening when David came home late from a business trip. He was drunk, his tie askew and his face flushed. Victoria had waited up for him, hoping to have a serious conversation about their marriage. As soon as he stumbled through the door, she saw the lipstick stain on his collar. Her heart sank. "David, we need to talk," she said one night, her voice trembling but firm. He glanced up from his laptop. Irritation flashed in his eyes. "What is it now, Victoria?" Tears welled up in her eyes, but she pressed on. "I can't do this anymore. I've tried to make this marriage work, to love you despite everything, but you've given me nothing in return. I deserve to be happy and so do you. We can't go on like this." David's frustration turned to anger. "What do you want from me, Victoria? I'm doing my best." "No, David, your best was never enough because your heart was never in it," she replied softly, her voice breaking. "I'm leaving. I need to find myself again, to find happiness." For the first time, David saw the depth of her pain and realized the gravity of his actions. But his pride kept him silent, and Victoria walked out the door, leaving him standing alone, the weight of his decisions crashing down on him. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. David's life felt hollow without Victoria. He missed her presence, her warmth, and her unwavering support. He tried to reach out to her, but she had moved on, building a new life filled with the love and happiness she deserved. She moved on, even though she didn't find love in another person, but she found love in herself. She built her career and her life took a turn. David, on the other hand, move in with the love of his life. But love is never enough. At the end, she broke his heart. He became frustrated, looking for ways to get back to Victoria. But it was too late. Victoria was high up while he was down there. David learned his lesson the hard way. He realized that love was not something to be taken for granted, and the pain of losing Victoria became his constant companion. He saw her occasionally smiling and thriving, and it tore him apart to know he had been the cause of her misery and the architect of his own loneliness. Victoria, on the other hand, found peace and fulfillment. She pursued her passion, surrounded herself with friends who cherished her, and eventually, she met someone who loved her with the intensity she has always dreamt of. She looked back on her time with David, not with bitterness, but as a lesson learned from the importance of self-worth and the courage to seek true happiness. David, too late for regret, was left with a life of what ifs and the haunting realization that sometimes love lost can never be reclaimed. The moral lesson learned from these stories are enormous. The first I want us to understand is true love cannot be forced. Marriage should be based on mutual love and respect, not societal or family pressure. A relationship without genuine affection and commitment is likely to lead to unhappiness. The second lesson is communication is key. Open and honest communication is vital in any relationship. Bottling up feelings and avoiding difficult conversations can lead to misunderstanding and resentment. The third is self-worth and happiness. It's essential to recognize your own value and prioritize your happiness. Staying in a relationship where you're not appreciated or loved can be detrimental to your well-being. The next is consequences of indifference. Ignoring your partner's feelings and needs can have severe consequences. Emotional neglect can cause deep wounds and lead to heartbroken and breakdown of a relationship. The next is responsibility and accountability. Acknowledge your role in the dynamics of a relationship. Taking responsibility for your actions and their impact on your partner is crucial for growth and healing. Timeliness of realization. Sometimes realizing the value of what you have comes too late. Appreciate and nurture your relationship before it's too late to mend them. The next is courage to move on. It takes courage to leave a toxic or unfulfilling relationship. Seeking a better, more loving environment is a sign of strength and self-respect. Growth through pain is the next one. Both parties in a broken relationship can learn and grow from the experience. Painful as it may be, these lessons can lead to personal development and better future relationships. The next is pride and humility. Letting pride stand in the way of reconciliation or improvement can lead to regret. Second chances are always possible. It's crucial to recognize and seize the opportunity to make amends and improve relationships while there is still time. This is a true life story. I just thought we will learn one or two lessons from it so that it will be helpful to us. Thanks for being part of this channel. Thanks for staying tuned. See you in our next story. Bye. Catch ya.